All right. Oh, and a little bit of a lengthy loading screen, but we are all set.
You know, the horses here, it's just like, you know, they're off.
All right, garbage right there is a 7-2 for Ferox.
Ferox immediately getting rid of that garbage.
Oh, gonna have to skim a little bit.
Still playing 6-3 despite that 7-2 garbage well.
Oh, that's a... And
ooh.
Yeah, wow,
that calls for a zone. Really high up. That's not a great place to be zoning at. 38 attack right off the bat. Tizago. Oh, Tizago's misdropping like crazy though. So like this could who's gonna end out on top here? Looks like Ferox has the advantage getting out of this.
Only about 2 lines, and yeah, Tizago needs to bail on the eyepiece, otherwise it would have been a top out.
Has to use another zone here. Ferox managed to take an advantage real quick. Here we are, Ferox playing aggressive.
And you can see Ferox right now just doing the clean LST over on that right. Getting nothing but T-spin doubles with the back-to-back bonus. We do have an eye miss drop, but that damage is already on Tizago's board, wreaking havoc on these plans. Oh no! Oh, I think Tizago tried to do what was that, like an S triple kick?
Maybe, but there's still too much pressure that Ferox has been giving, so
yeah,
that's gonna be his round.
Look at that 325 zone attack per minute. Even though it was a smaller zone attack, the fact that it was done so quickly and extra damage was compounded on top of that zone is what's giving Ferox the win.
Ooh, Tizago's misdropping quite a bit here at the start. Gonna give Ferox a nice early advantage.
Yeah, Ferox has been doing a lot of free upstacking at this early in the match. Gonna greed for a T-spin double, able to find one in a good opportune time. Oh, and gonna be forced to zone pretty high up on the board once again, and not really gonna find... Okay, never mind, we do find it. 44, which was not the fastest zone in the books, but is still, like, pretty decent, I want to say, for this far in the Matrix. Yeah, so 42 there from Tizago. Ferox gonna let the quarter zone rip, trying to get as much damage out as possible. It's gonna be a...
Ooh, and that's a 1933 attack. Tizago nearly topping out there.
This is a quarter zone here. Tizago. Probably better than quarter zone and not a half zone, because we're gonna keep a lot more of that zone charge.
It's true. Ferox getting that T-spin triple tower at the ready. Not quite infinite TST, but
no, Ferox is gonna keep going with it. TST tower into C-spins to follow it up.
We got some... Ferox, what are you doing, dude? What was that?
Oh no! But
I want to see that Ferox wanted to try for something further.
But again, like, look at the garbage queue right now on Ferox. It's barely around 10 to 15 lines.
This zone should be able to take... I think the zone will take care of most of it, if not... Yeah, look at that! Look at that huge counter. Oh, Tizago. Oh, Tizago has a lot of cheese down stack to take care of.
Can we find a clean down stack? I don't know. There's a lot of I's and O's. But the S is going to be stuck.
That'd be nice if it were earlier in the game, but we're dealing with the spiky stuff. Oh no!
Almost had the T-spin double there to stay alive, but Ferox continues with the offense, 100 attack per minute, and we are 2-0 in Ferox's favor.
Impressive stuff.
Keep in mind, this is our last elimination round of Matrix.
Yeah, and Ferox is pulling out all the stops.
Alright, a little bit of a skim in the process. And Tizago able to get a spins. Garbage, unfortunately, already changing columns for both Ferox and Tizago. I feel like somebody put the garbage messiness up a little bit when it definitely didn't need to be. Alright, and a very nice center well right now for Tizago. accept the garbage. Looks like settles down as Ferox is working on pushing this into phase 2 before the first zone. Both players just holding on the trigger, does not want to let it rip just yet. Ferox is going to be the first to go with it.
Oh, Ferox.
51 Perfectress. Tizago finishes the zone first, but 54 from Ferox will neutralize.
2 lines of garbage on the board, though. Not exactly the cleanest exit, but, I mean, Ferox is still doing perfectly fine here.
Alright, and still very solid work right now from Ferox. Has a lot of garbage on the board, but so does Tizago. Well, Tizago looking for another eyepiece. It's very late in the queue. Able to finally get a little bit more breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, not sure if Ferox has a little bit of this 6-3 and could potentially work into some pattern stacking, although I think they might want to down stack. We are into the phase 3. We do hear the bell.
Yep, the bell has rung.
And Ferox image is much, much cheesier.
Yeah, and Ferox going into this with a zone.
Sometimes a good way to enter. You don't have to deal with any of that cheese unless that zone attack is not enough to neutralize, but 45 is going to be substantial.
Ooh, Tizago has no room to downstack this. That's just going to be Ferox's round.
You can see, like, definitely a lot of the out-of-zone... Tizago had those quick zone bursts, but Ferox was able to counter most of those without too much trouble, and the overall attack per minute is going to reign supreme.
Yeah, 21 APM above Tizago. That is quite a bit to deal with.
Alright, Ferox right now has the 7-2 garbage. Tizago's going to have to likely work with a sidewell, unless that garbage changes column soon. Ferox is going to be the first one to enter zone. Waiting on that S-piece. Ooh.
Oops, 70.
Oh, this is likely to be the ulti. We do see 65 out of
a hefty
Ferox.
65 attack.
46 from Tizago. Tizago's going to need to find some skim options and quick.
Ooh, that is
garbage.
That is a clean well.
This is going to be very, very nice for Tizago to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a bit of a misdrop on top of that well, but sorted through it really nicely. Gonna be able to get through this.
And Tizago actually reaches max zone meter first.
Yeah, but neither player's itching to use their zone just quite yet.
Yeah, both players working with a little bit of an awkward sidewell. I think Tizago fumbling around with where exactly we're gonna keep this stat going. Able to work on the STSD. Almost misdrops the first T-spin. That would have been a very unfortunate misdrop, but able to keep things clean on the down stack. 16-18, the stack is still going up and up. 53 Perfectress, that's a lot of garbage over to Ferox, about half a board's worth. 10-line Tetris is going to be enough to keep off the pressure momentarily, but this is a beautiful upstack from Tizago. Very quick 16 lines off to Ferox. And even with enough built up, that's not going to be the easiest thing to counter. So right now the pressure is on Ferox to play through defense in a game where it's very difficult to find these down stacks. 4 combos is going to be enough to get a little bit more breathing room. Tizago is going for a strong zone, looking to end it. Able to get to 17, that's a 35 Deca Hexatriss, but Ferox has done a fantastic job digging down. 6 lines, still looking for more garbage to add to this assault. And gonna get a 17 lines of their own for 50 Perfectress.
Canceling out that entire queue, jeez.
Oh, but the 25 retaliation for Tizago pushes Ferox right back to the top of the board.
Things are a lot closer than they seem.
Be sure to check the rear view mirror before you head out of ECQ. 6th line, not quite going to be worth a Tetris. Ooh, and the, what's that? I think the L spin from Tizago. Able to keep the stack clean a little bit more. And again, as well, I know Tizago has been doing a lot of quick play and Tetrio, which has been very good practice for the all spins, which although are not going to be doing more for a guideline title, tend to give you a little bit more options in the cleanup department.
Yeah, helps keep your stack clean.
A clean stack is always a very lovely thing to have.
And Ferox already off with a down stack here.
Oh, not
19.
Oh, the O gets stuck, so we're not going to be seeing an ulti. And Tizago right now, around line 15, we do see a down stack to mitigate most of that initial attack, but going to have to use zone for the following one.
Ooh,
oh, the misdrop Z.
That Z-piece definitely went somewhere unintended. Oh. And Ferox is going to take that next round again, sending this to match point.
And it's 4-0 right now. Tizago needs to win 5 straight in order to stay alive in the event.
The reverse sweep. It's a bit of a tall order, but it's always entirely possible.
All right, both Ferox and Tizago working up a very quick 6-3. Oh, Ferox as well, waiting a little bit on accepting that garbage. And I think Tizago... Oh!
Ferox really trying to keep that STSD alive. Wants to use both T-spins. Manages to get them after a lot of upstacking.
Little misdrops here and there, but Tizago right now has a Sidewell. Might be able to try and find a Kaiden. It looks like not at the moment. But has to fight against Ferox's center well zone, which might be a bit of a tall task. We do see the 20 from Ferox, 63, 55 out of Tizago, so not going to lose out in the interaction. Terrible amounts. Oh, unfortunate T-spin none though from Tizago. Having to rely on a lot of skim options, but the garbage keeps getting cheesier and cheesier the more it's getting countered in partials. Able to find the Tetris on the down stack while Ferox is in the midst of an up stack. Ferox keeping the... Oh, okay, never mind. Not keeping the back-to-back, but we do have zone here from Ferox. Tizago right now has a clean stack. We are in phase 3. That misdrop from Ferox might put a damper on the efficiency, but we do see the STSD setup.
Yeah.
Tizago needs to counter about 20 lines in order to fully neutralize. 40 would be a really good spot. We're going to get 35. So Ferox about halfway up the board. Going to be using a quarter zone. Trying to get as much garbage over to Tizago as possible before allowing Tizago to run away with things. A little fumble there with the T-spin double, able to still clear it out.
Tizago in another zone here. Really high up, though. That's only going to be 9 lines, 20 attack. Ferox ready for retaliation.
Yeah, Ferox only needs to counter about this whole 20 or so lines. Let's see how...
Yeah, getting up to 15. 26 attack, very nice. Going to be sending a few lines over to Tizago. Not enough to do anything major, but still enough for Ferox to get back to the advantage.
Yeah, but it feels like Tizago's board is not all that bad in its own right. It's a little bit tricky to work with, but 12-line Tetris. However, Ferox is playing very fast all of a sudden, and that extra speed will help solidify.
That's going to be it. Ferox going to take this with a clean sweep against Tizago.